Well, good afternoon, basketball fans all over the world, and welcome here to the FIBA U17 Men's Basketball World Cup. We're live here in the beautiful city of Malaga in sunny Spain for the semifinals between the United States of America and Lithuania. Well, I'm your commentator, Josh Bett, board alongside the great Teresa Brantelbat here, former professional. Teresa, what kind of game are we in for here tonight?
We have this is obviously a third matchup of these nations in under-17 World Cup history. You know, we have that strong nation of US who are the really strong contenders to winning the whole championship. They haven't tasted yet any defeat in under-17 history. Their record is 42 wins, 0 lost in there. So really tough task against for Lithuania in this game. On the other hand, Lithuania is their third semi-finals in the under-17 history, so you have to count with them, you know. It's just, obviously, it's going to be a tough task for Lithuania. They will have to handle the ball well. They will have to control the tempo of the game as well.
Well, there you can see there are the head-to-head matchups now. The United States taking on Lithuania. The winner of this game will take on the winner of either France or Spain. That game will be played directly right after. Remember, we are here in Carpena Martin, in the beautiful city of Malaga. This is the FIBA U17 Men's Basketball World Cup. Now, we're going to take a look at some of the plays, but, you know, Teresa, let's look at the history. As you mentioned, it isn't going in the favor of the Lithuanians, of course. They met back in 2010, in which the United States won 102-66. And then more recently, 6 years ago in 2016, the United States won 98-70. I mean, this really is a David versus Goliath matchup, as you mentioned. But who are the key players that we can look out from Lithuania that could make a difference in this game?
Yeah, and before we get to those players, you have to also mention that friendly they played on the 28th of June, and the Americans won 71-61. It was their first game after they arrived in Europe before these championships, so that's not much difference in there. But to the key players of Lithuania, definitely Padegimas. We haven't seen him perform as much yesterday against Poland. He's been well guarded. But you know what, Lithuania surprised the whole Spain in the opening game as well, and they haven't lost the game at these championships. So that's quite the visa for themselves. But Žikas had an incredible game yesterday when he scored 20 points, Stonkus 12 points as well, and Alexis Bielinskas. You can't forget him. He's averaging almost double-double. He is averaging double-double, but yesterday he had 11 points and 9 rebounds. So I think also the depth in bench will be important in this game. They have to manage personal fouls as well, because obviously the starting five for Lithuania is the game they're going to create, right? So if there are more players and can contribute and not turning the ball over, I think they have a chance definitely to match up with the US team. They have to stop the US transition as well.
Well, the United States yesterday in the quarterfinals, they played against Serbia, and it was a very competitive match. I mean, Serbia were able to keep it within 10 points until the third quarter, in which the USA just simply ran away with the game, of course. I mean, we talked about the fatigue in this game. It's not only the physical fatigue that Lithuania's got to go up against, it's the emotional fatigue. The United States, as I said yesterday, when you make mistakes, they make you pay. But if you get it right, they will still make you pay, of course.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think it will be tough task for the point guard of Lithuania, Kebežinskas, who will have to really handle the ball, because the pressure is going to be on him. And as you just mentioned, the US team has such great defense, and they are actually building their game plan around their defense, you know, in this championship. So they're just waiting for the mistakes to run the breaks, and that's their game. We've seen yesterday that the USA weren't as effective playing 5-on-5 against Serbia, so I think that's another kind of point for Lithuania to try to make them play into the set offense.
But we're now going to stand for the national anthems of these two beautiful countries, and we'll take a moment of silence for the national anthems. Well, the national anthems of both the United States and Lithuania, these two beautiful countries, have been sung. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll get set to introduce our officials for tonight's game. Well, our officials are coming from Turkey, Australia, and Poland. From Turkey, we have Karim Baki. From Australia, we have Scott Becker. And from Poland, we have Wojciech Liszka. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're very proud to say we have some of the finest officials here in world basketball. There you can see all three of them: Karim Baki, Scott Becker, and Wojciech Liszka. They've done an excellent job in all of our competitions, and they'll continue to do so here tonight, right now, for the semifinals of the FIBA U17 Men's Basketball World Cup. The United States taking on Lithuania. Now, Teresa, we're going to look at the starting lineups here, of course, and what can we expect from the starting lineup that we may see here from Lithuania?
I would expect the same starting five as a quarterfinal, because they played great against that Polish team yesterday. And we know we have Alexis Bieliuskas, here we have Kepežinskas, Žigas, Stonkus, Paregimas, and Bielauskas here. That's exactly the starting five from the quarterfinal game against the Poland. We know Paregimas, he has been a leader for Lithuania before these quarterfinals, where he hasn't really been shining as much. But Žigas had an excellent game, as I already said, 20 points. He's been incredibly sharp from the shooting as well, and I think tough job for Kepežinskas, I think. We know that the game is created by point guard. He's a right hand of the coach, so tough task against him, how he's going to handle the pressure of the US tough defense. Well,
there are the starting lineups there now. Koa Pete was one of their top scorers. Now, it's interesting, Cooper Flack, their top scorer yesterday against Serbia, he isn't in the starting lineup. Is this possibly a tactical maneuver here from Coach White?
Yeah, we haven't seen him yesterday either in that quarterfinal, so it could be. It could fit him that he's going off the bench. But you know what? Yesterday, when we're talking about the leaders, when the team plays great and he makes his teammates better, or if the rest of the players are playing good, you have no really reason to implement anything else to it. So I think because we had Cooper Flag yesterday absolutely dominating for that US team, where he ended up on 18 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks, and he's only 15 years old. Then we had a Koapi, 17.6 rebounds. I think Coach White had loads of options yesterday, and that's what we're talking about. That US team is full of quality on every position you can think of, and the bench as well it's there for Coach White. So he has the comfort of the rotation, which I think will be today as well one of the key elements, because US is going to be fresh. They're going to keep the pressure high, the intensity high, and we spoke about the rotations, and the intensity doesn't drop for the US team. It almost even increases, So I think another great sign of this US team.
Well, there you saw, ladies and gentlemen, sponsor to So Countdown tip-up under a minute away. And there was head coach of the United States, Sharman White, now currently head coach of Pace Academy in Georgia of the United States. Well, he went to the University of Georgia Southern, and then got his master's at Coppin State. Well, our head coach for Lithuania, Coach Bardaukas, coaching in the second league, of course, in Lithuanian professional basketball, the NKL for BC Atlas in the city of Kaunas. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to the beautiful city of Malaga. This is the semi-final. One of these teams will be playing either France or Spain. Don't go anywhere, as we're set for tip. Lithuania are going to play the United States of America. Well, Bieliuskas there, you're going to see, he's going to jump this one with Stewart. And again, the tempo of this game is going to be very key here. The United States had to get up on the way. Well, the ball is up and quickly. They talk about the quick transition play there for the United States, Teresa.
Yeah, and as well, the US is #1 offense. He has #1 offense in this competition. They're averaging 105.8 points per game. So that's another thing what Lithuania will have to limit, these quick baskets, and try to really make the US play 5 against 5.
Well, Lithuania now know that they're up against a very quick team. They like to play in transitions. Kepežinskas is going to have a big role here today in the backcourt for Lithuania. And they go down low here to Bieliuskas. Well, turns around, takes the fadeaway shot, doesn't get it. The rebound has been secured by Ronald Holland. Well, makes the penetration now, down the middle, goes in, wraps around, doesn't get it. And Lithuania there had a chance to push in transition, but Kepežinskas, again, it's fair to say here for Lithuania, slow the tempo, but already we got a turnover now. Petrakis in transition, he's all the way, and he's fouled, and he doesn't get the ad one, but he will go to the free throw line here for 2 shots, and that is David Castillo. He's been one of the most productive players here in the offense for the United States. Would you say so?
Yeah, I would say so. And also, it's fun to watch him. He makes the basketball look very easy, you know. He's just enjoying it. There's no stress, no really pressure. But all he has is the skills. So, yeah, I can completely agree.
Well, of course, was a member of this team in which they won the gold medal at the 2021 FIBA Americas Championship. At that time, they were under 16. Now, currently playing in the state of Oklahoma at Bartlesville High School. It's quite interesting when you talk about, you know, the difference between the United States players and the international players. You know, these international players are affiliated with clubs, of course, while in the United States, it's about the high schools, the universities. It's a very big difference, of course, in their styles of play.
Yeah, it is. It's two different styles of basketball, two different continents, and always been, you know, we know that US basketball, they always come up with a physical, athletic game, and that's what this US team has as well.
Well, petting interest there, you can see Padegi must, excuse me, just put the moves there on the backcourt playing. The home crowd like that is now Kepushinskas with a penetration. Will force up a tough one, doesn't get it. Ronald Holland now comes up with a loose ball. Goes out of bounds, and that's going to be a turnover there. Well, Holland there just probably got a little bit too casual with the ball in his hands. I mean, he had a very good game yesterday against Serbia. You know for sure that Ronald Holland's going to have a bright professional career ahead of him. He's just such a great competitor.
Yeah, he had 10 points, 5 rebounds, but defensively he's effective as well. His presence, long arms as well.
Well, Padegi must now looking to get a handoff here. Lithuania just trying to find ways to break down the pull up for the mid-range. The foul has been committed. Oh no, sorry, excuse me, it's gone out of bounds. And again, Teresa, that's what you love to see there from Bieliauskas there. Doesn't necessarily get the rebound, but just does enough there to force Sean Stewart to knock it out of bounds. It's a baseline ball here, and Kepushinskas will inbound this one.
Yeah, the good effort on the glass is really rewarded most of the times if you go and fight for the ball in there.
Well, Bieliauskas now just able to get the ball inbound. Lithuania here. Padegi now trying to bang in the low block. Look for options, kicks out. Here's a three-pointer. Lithuania at the moment struggling to get anything going into the United States. Quick to push this one in transition. Again, very unlucky there for Sean Stewart, but we're going to see a lot of that here tonight. A lot of second chance points going in favor to the USA.
Yeah, we know USA is the top offensive rebounding team at this championship, averaging 24 per game, which is a lot, and it gives them a lot of more possessions compared to the other teams. So that's definitely one thing Lithuania have to take care of.
Well, they pull up for a three in transition. The three is up, and again, it's no good. Lithuania doing a good job of just going in for offensive rebounds. Kepushinskas now making a penetration. Keeps the ball alive now. Good defense here from the USA. For the shot clock goes all the way. And again, something out of nothing. That's a tough move there by Vitolta Žigas. And he was the top scorer for Lithuania yesterday against Poland.
Yeah, he had 6 rebounds and 20 points in that game. And you know what? I think Lithuania really needs his great performance today as well, because the point guard of Lithuania, Kepushinskas, is going to have a really tough job to distribute the ball, to even start their offense, because obviously the athletic defense of US is just waiting and fishing for every pass.
Well, Kobe there you can see with a missed opportunity there in the low post. Great defense by Bieliauskas. I think they're going to call him out of bounds there. Well, of course, yesterday, Kobe, one of the top performers for the United States. And one stat I was very impressed with is that the USA shot 50% from the perimeter against Serbia. They were 12 for 24. And again, we know that the talent in this team is unbelievable, but you know, there's been a lot of talk about how quick they are in transition. But 12 for 24 from downtown is very impressive.
It's really hard to compete against the teams who shoot the ball very well, because it gives them so many more options. If you can't hit a shot, the teams can just pack inside. But if they can hit a shot like this US team, you know, it's just so hard to guard it. You have to really put up some team defense against that type of playing.
Well, Kobe there you can see just going with the baseline move and making it look very easy. So the United States are up to a 6-2 lead. Padegi must now throwing it away. And now the USA here in transition throws it down. Well, again, that's the kind of transition play there by Wagner. Third generation, like father and grandpa, as we said yesterday. And Kepushinskas just turns it over there. But again, it's all down to the full court pressure defense. Lithuania really needs to do a better game plan here. Well, Padegi must there, you can see just throwing it away. And Wagner making it look easy.
You know what, if you have such pressure on a point guard, you want the guards to help him to bring the ball. to your offensive half, you know, because he could cook over. He could just completely cook in there against that amazing US defense. So he gotta be able to pass the ball. He has to have a teammate open to release that pressure of him.
Well, Castillo now giving the ball up here to Wagner. USA now patiently trying to build their play. Making a penetration down the middle, the kick out there to Castillo. Castillo for the three in the corner. And again, the man who's been lighted up for the USA this entire tournament now forces Lithuania to call a timeout. And Castillo now already with 5 points. Again, Teresa, as expected, the good ball movement here from the USA, the penetration. I mean, this is going to be a tough game for Lithuania if the USA keep shooting like they did last night against Serbia.
Yes, indeed. Lithuania really have to take care of that ball because so far they had 4 turnovers and USA scored 9 points out of them. So that tells you everything. It's just they are so effective, you know. And as I already mentioned, Lithuanian players have to help their point guard to bring the ball because he's gonna cook himself in there. He has really tough job, and you know what, like Gigas could bring the ball as well, or Stonkus can help as well, and or any bigs even. I think even Lithuanians bigs are able to bring the ball, you know, and release that pressure of the point guard. So we will see. But here are the points. Gigas 2 points, Stonkus 1 rebound. Nothing much yet in this game, but they only scored 2 points in almost 4 minutes in this first quarter. And you know what? I feel like US is just enjoying this first quarter. They're doing what we knew they're gonna be doing.
Well, there was a penetration by Vytautas Gigas, and again, one of the top performers for Lithuania yesterday. And again, Lithuania needs people to step in. Now, Kepažinskas is going to need a lot of help in the backcourt because the USA, one thing they're just so good at is picking up full-court man-to-man. I think I'm going to see this right now.
Yeah, I think Lithuania shouldn't doubt themselves when they get an open shot, you know, because if you're going to doubt yourself, the US defense is just going to smash you. And they shot well yesterday as well, Lithuania. They scored 9 out of 21 from the perimeter. That's 42%. That's not bad at all. So if you're open, just shoot the ball.
Well, Kepažinskas now able to break the full-court press. And Lithuania, again, now rushing in their offense, trying to patiently build this up. They try a three-pointer. Again, it's no good from downtown. Another rebound here. Stewart now looking to go all the way, puts him a little teardrop. Again, very easy there in transition. Leaving the Lithuanian defenders very helpless there. Well, Sean Stewart now gets his first field goal here of the game. It's Kepažinskas. Doing the ball now. Lithuania trying again from downtown. Again, it's not going. Well, Tulovic there coming in. Kepažinskas another three-pointer. And at the moment, nothing dropping from the perimeter. Ronald Holland now bringing the ball up here for the USA. Just under 5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. And there's the kick out, finding Castillo. He'll try it, doesn't get it. Bieliauskas with a rebound. Well, Justas Stonkus just checking in. Well, Gigas now, he'll try the mid-range shot again, in and out. Now the USA, here's the game they want to play here in transition. Well, Castillo, no foul call. Well, had his arms wrapped around him. I think that could have been a potential and one there, maybe. Well, Castillo, man, the man who averaged 25 points per game last year. Well, this season recently at Bartlesville in Oklahoma. And this is Matulovic, having just subbed into the game now. Lithuania trailing by 13 points. 6 on the shot clock now. Vytautas now finding Bieliauskas. Again, great defensive play there. Well, you got to credit the fact that Lithuania has finally gone to a pick and roll there. They've gotten the ball to Bieliauskas, but I mean, great help side defense there from Sean Stewart to take the charge.
Yes, indeed.
Corpete, excuse me.
Indeed, credit to US because, you know, leading 15-2 in the first quarter, and we literally shortly after half of the first quarter, it tells you that they must know that this game will be most probably theirs, right? But they still keep their composure. They still keep fighting for every possession defensively. They are on the split line. You know, they're really trying to display their best basketball.
Well, Jeremy Fears now just coming into the game here for the United States, bringing the point guard roll into, and Cooper Flagg as well. The Cooper Flagg with 18 points. Flagg goes down the middle, just off the Corpete. Well, no foul called. Gets some rebound, and he gets the and one. So Corpete, again, it was those two players yesterday against Serbia that completely dominated this game. Well, Corpete had 17. Cooper Flagg with 18, but again, Korpi just so aggressive there, going for the offensive rebounds off a missed shot, and you know, will treat himself here to a three-point play. Well, Korpi, of course, from Atlanta, Georgia, going to Perry High School. Well, his father obviously played at Northern Illinois University and also played for the Los Angeles Raiders. It goes out of bounds, and that will be possession now to Lithuania. And Lithuania only at the moment now with one field goal coming from Vytautas Žygas. Currently trailing by 15 points. Well, Padegimas now having to help out to play a bit of a point guard duty here for the Lithuanians. We're getting an open look. There's the pump fake. Tries a three-point. The three is up, and the three is good. And finally, Lithuania get these going from downtown. That's going to do their confidence a lot of good now.
Yeah, and that was a really good transition because he was open. He made that pump fake. The player jumps to take the shot.
Well, Cooper flagged their offensive rebound. No foul called. Padegimas now secures a rebound. They turn it over. Castillo missed it. And they follow up, they missed it. Wow. That pass was like a hot tamale out there. Just doesn't want to go in the hoop. Well, here we go. Well, what do we have here? Fierce goes up. Fierce throws it down with two hands. And again, it starts with the defense here from the USA turnovers, leading to easy transition buckets.
Yeah, it starts with that great frontline defense from the US. And, you know, I don't think Lithuania should try to beat it by dribbling the ball because that's the way they're going to be losing the ball. So, you know, the court is big enough to flash into open spots and help the players to offer yourself for the pass. You know, I know the US defense is athletic, but if you're going to dribble, they're just going to, you know, get you where they want and steal the ball and just have an easy layup, as we've just seen.
Well, Kuliasha just checked into the game for Lithuania. There you can see Coach Barioka saying, I need Kepažinskas back in the game because at the moment, he seems to be the only player that can deal with the full court pressure here from the USA. Yeah,
I said before the game how important that job of the point guard of Lithuania is going to be, you know, and Kepažinskas has been having a hard job, but the bench, again, the depth of the bench, we had Kuliashka on the court, straight away some turnovers, so obviously Kepažinskas needs to be on the court for Lithuania.
Well, Kepažinskas now with a bit of time and space, makes a penetration pump fake. There's the kick out to Padegimas. Padegimas now splits the defense. They'll try to go in. I think he wanted to throw that one down, but I think it's going to be a potential. Really called a turnover there.
Yeah, I think.
Let's have a look at the replay here.
Padegimas was the last player touching the ball on that. See, every shot of Lithuania is contested, is challenged, and that's why the percentage is so low for Lithuania. They only shoot 16% so far in this game.
Well, that previous play, what happened there was Padegimas jumped back into the court as he received the ball, so it's a good call from the official. Cooper flag now with a pump fake, look for the kick out. I think they're going to call a foul near the basket. That's a 14th foul now. It's going to be called on Kepažinskas.
The second personal foul, if I'm right, yeah. So again, something him personally he needs to take care of because obviously Lithuania needs him on the court.
The USA now just moving the ball very well. Spears goes baseline now, takes a little fadeaway jump shot. In and out, the follow-up's no good. The tip in, very easy there. Well, Carter Knox, you know, one thing I was very impressed with Carter Knox, of course, was his composure yesterday. The Lithuanians now just trying to move the ball here against the USA. Stonkas now looking for an isolation. Step back now, take the mid-range jump shot, doesn't get it. The USA now will look to capitalize. Let's keep a flag here in transition. The flag pulls up in the mid-range, takes it, doesn't get it. Just under a minute and a half to go here in the first quarter. Lithuanians so far with 2 field goals. At the moment, getting some good looks, but just haven't been able to knock them down. Stonkas now goes baseline. Stonkas hangs in the air and doesn't get it. Flag with a rebound. And the USA now looking to build some momentum. They try a 3 in transition. The 3 is up and no good again. Well, we're under a minute to go here. And again, if Lithuania plays their cards correctly, they could go for potential 2-for-1 here. The 3 is up and downtown. Again, the 3 just outdropped it, but the USA come up with it. Another turnover. The USA, they're not doing such a good job of taking care of the basketball at the moment. Now we have 13 seconds difference between the game clock and the shot clock now. Kepazhinskas, he can go pick and roll here. Comes up another one. Not going to step through, and a foul has been called. Well, they've deemed that a shooting foul, so it'll be the first time Lithuania go to the free throw line here.
Yeah, let's see a replay in there. That was a great pump fake in there and trying to step around J.R. Fierce. But tough job. Kepazhinskas trying everything, to be honest. You see him on the ball a lot. He's bringing the ball. He's trying to attack. It's not easy to pass for him. So credit to him. He keeps fighting.
Well, currently now playing for the development team of Žalgiris in the city of Kaunas in Lithuania. So he makes the second free throw, standing at 177 centimeters. For those in the United States and Canada, that is 5'10", of course. Lithuania now, Teresa, I'd say they've gone into a 2-3 zone now. Yeah,
we see now the zone. Try to obviously make it a bit more challenging for that US offense for those last couple seconds and fill the inside space.
Well, 4 seconds now. Fears with the ball in his hands. Got to get something going. Goes down the middle. Well, doesn't get anything there, and it's a turnover. But ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the first quarter, the United States lead this one 21-7. Now we're going to leave you with some stats and some highlights. But Teresa, what would you make for this first quarter from Lithuania?
You know what, I think the main thing is definitely try to move the ball without dribbling too much, because the US is just waiting and they're fishing for you if you're going to try to dribble into the two players. Here are some numbers of the shooting. We see the US shooting 40% from the field to only 13 of Lithuania, and tells you a lot because Lithuania is getting contested in every single opportunity. Now, once we're watching the highlights of the US, they're in complete control of the game, you know. Anytime they decide to put up the pressure defensively, it gives them that quick transition and easy too. So I think pretty much it's just going to be on the coach White's decisions now, what he's going to put in as a game plan. Are they going to take it as a kind of practice game, you know, for that final game? Obviously, this is not over yet, but as the game is going, we can see obviously the dominance of the US team in this first semi-final of today's game.
Well, Lithuania, of course, having to work for every shot they take, of course. And again, it hasn't really been working for them from the perimeter. I mean, they're taking a lot of three-point shots, but do they got to mix it up? Do they have to try and go to other ways of scoring?
Yeah, absolutely. And also, you know, I say that when they open, they have to shoot the ball, but it's quite hard because you know the time is ticking. If you're going to take the shot right after the first pass, you're giving another opportunity to this US team to run the break, and obviously you want to decrease their point score as much as you want, because they're averaging 105 points per game, which is such a high number. So we say, yeah, shoot when you open, but also, obviously, you have to manage the time.
Well, there is the courtside 1891 app, the QR code. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a very busy summer ahead of us. We have the FIBA Asia Cup, then we have the America Cup, FIBA Eurobasket, and the Women's FIBA World Cup coming up, which will be played in Australia. And you can watch all of it live on Courtside 1891. Remember, Courtside 1891, catch all international basketball all over the world. Well, Lithuania at the moment, 1 for 7 from the perimeter. Well, the United States have only taken three-point field goals. Well, David Castillo currently on the bench here for the USA, but he is leading all scorers with 7 points, while Koapid and DJ Wagner, Dewan Wagner, that is, with 4 apiece. Kepazhinskas now giving this one back out to Žikauskas. And there's the penetration down to Belielskas under the basket, can't get it. The rebound now has been secured, and USA here looking to build the momentum in transition. Well, Cooper Flag now steps through, dish off under the basket, goes up with it, can't get it. Second time can't get it, but the United States again coming up with another offensive rebound. And Fizz will look to slow things down here, trying to break down the Lithuanian zone. And there's a pump fake now. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Fizz takes a three-pointer, and he nails that one. Again, 12 for 24 as a team yesterday against Serbia. It's looking like it could be the same outcome here tonight for the USA.
Yeah, it's really hard to play against a team who's really hitting shots, because now Lithuania back in the zone defense, which worked for them that last possession of the first quarter. But, you know, now if they're going to start to hit the shots, you have to reconsider again. Are you going to sit in the zone defense, or you're going to put up some maybe full court pressure? You know, try to keep changing defense, maybe to make it a little bit more challenging for this US team.
Well, Padegimas there again. They did a good job of breaking down the double team coming in half court there, which Kepezhinskas found Padegimas, and then they just threw it away.
And now we see that zone defense again this time. Knox couldn't make the shot.
So Bieliauskas there with a rebound.
Great defensive possession for Lithuania.
Well, the double teams coming very aggressively here from the USA. They want to get those turnovers and they want to get out in transition as much as possible. Kepezhinskas now coming off a screen of Bieliauskas. Well, they got numbers. There's a kick out, 3 in the corner. Bieliauskas offensive rebound under the basket. Goes up and still can't get it. Again, Lithuania fighting for everything. The foul has been committed by Davidas Žukauskas. And again, previous offense, it's a beautiful penetration or kick out. They get the wide open look. You can't fault that offense, but they just got to make the open three-pointers.
Yeah, you know, that's what we're saying. You have to be so efficient against this US team. You have to take care of the ball. You have to try to have a really high percentage of the shooting, and then you probably can think of challenging this US team. But if you're going to be shooting only 11% as Lithuania does so far, that's why we see that such margin in score.
Well, Kopit now getting the ball in the low block, and this is where he likes to have the ball. It goes up and it turns it over. And now Kepezhinskas. They want to put the ball in his hands. Kepezhinskas now here, guarded by Ian Jackson.
Nice to hear the Lithuanian fans support their players. They know that there is such task ahead of them in this game.
Well, a few seconds now here on the shot clock. Got to step back, puts up a circus shot. Doesn't get it. I think the 24-second violation. Well, they called a foul there now, so foul is called on Vitalta Žigas. Well, for our American fans in the United States, obviously watching, Lithuania is one of the meccas for basketball here in Europe. Of course, the history of basketball in Lithuania is just phenomenal. You may have seen the documentary about the other dream team featuring the great Arvydas Sabonis. And of course, if you're traveling here in Europe, you have to go to Lithuania. It's just a beautiful country with just fantastic basketball fans and fantastic basketball culture. But at the moment, the USA here just passing the ball around against the zone and just trying to get those open looks.
I think at the moment, Lithuania does a great job defensively in that zone because they're really filling the space, and I think it a little bit put the US offense under the pressure because they can't find that open spot easily.
That's another missed shot there by the USA. So the 2-3 zone, of course, just slowly doing his job as they get the ball down low to Bieliauskas. Turns around, Strabo. Oh my goodness gracious! Oh, gets rejected. Well, I think another foul is, or traveling violation. Well, Bieliauskas just gets rejected there off the backboard like a magnet on the refrigerator when he pins him.
Yeah, that's a tough one because as a player, you think kind of, yeah, I'm open, I'm shooting it, but someone from somewhere is going to fly like Stewart, and it's just, wow.
And there goes the pick and roll again. Looking for options here. There's the cross court in the corner. Get the open look. The 3 is up. And the 3 is good from downtown. Oh, it's the third field goal now here for Lithuania in the second three-point. Again, you know how the Lithuanians want to play. They want to get looks from the perimeter, but only 2 so far here for Lithuania.
Yeah, but as I said, they didn't shoot badly yesterday against that Polish team. So I think if they open, don't hesitate and take the shot because you're not going to get too many open shots.
Well, Kepezhinskas now here in transition. Looking here to kind of slow this one down now. Another pick and roll of Bieliauskas. Trying to get the switch on defense. Tries to go all the way now. Puts up a little teardrop. Goes out of bounds now. Will be USA ball that I think you saw in the previous play. The USA looking to go alley-oop with Kopit. And Kopit probably just mistimed it, but you love the little hesitation there by Kepezhinskas. Well, 6:08 to go here in the second quarter. 14-point lead now to the USA, 24-10. Remember, this is the semifinal. The winner of this game, of course, will play against either France or Spain in the other semifinal that will take place after this one. Well, Wagner now coming back into the lineup here. They're trying to go down low here to Stewart, but 7 on the shot clock. They try a three-pointer, and the 3 is up, and again, it's no good. Bieliauskas with a rebound. And the Lithuanian fans now just trying to rally and give their team a little bit of motivation here. It's Kapažinskas with the ball in his hands. They're looking for options, but Bieliauskas not even calling for the ball. As Padegimas now tries another three-pointer. Three is up, and again, it's no good. And they're trying to tip in. Kapažinskas comes up with it. 10 on the shot clock now here for Lithuania. They almost turn it over. Padegimas finds Bieliauskas. Bieliauskas goes in with a layup, and again, credit there. Good ball movement there from Lithuania.
Yeah, great patience. Everyone got touches, and by the end, Bieliauskas was wide open under the rim. And you know what? The big players of the U.S. were away from the basket, so that might be a way to go for Lithuania. Really share the ball, and move around, bring the bigs, play pick and roll with the bigs, so you can put them away from the rim, so the other players have that space in there and the comfort of not getting the shot block in there against this U.S. team.
Well, of course, as we mentioned, Lithuania really having to work for every single shot they get, because the United States, they're very intense. They're great players. They get in your face. They want you to turn the ball over so they can get in transition. But again, 2 3-point field goals so far. If Lithuania can get these going from downtown and give themselves maybe a glimmer of hope of getting back in this game.
Yes, indeed, because you know we've seen it yesterday when Slovenia was shooting really well in that quarterfinal game, right? If you're gonna hit those shots, it gives you not only points but also the confidence, you know. And these 2 threes for Lithuania really, together with that zone defense, played in their favor in this quarter. Because we've played 5 minutes of this quarter, and pretty much the U.S. is losing by 2 points in this quarter, which is incredible for Lithuania, knowing that they lost that first quarter 21-7. So did they find, by that zone defense, maybe defensive rhythm to bring them that offense? Because I always say defense brings you offense, and it's been working well in this quarter for Lithuania.
Well, if you just saw the QR code there in the bottom left corner of your screen, that is the QR code for Courtside 1891. Make sure you subscribe to Courtside 1891 to get all of the international basketball fixtures, the live streams all over the world. Courtside 1891. Well, Koa Pete now looking for a penetration here. Picks this one out. They get a shot from downtown. The three is up. The three is good. Well, the assist coming from Koa Pete against beautiful basketball there from the United States. Well, DeJuan Wagner, he takes his tally up now to 12 points.
You see Fuku pressing now. Coming off that timeout, Coach White knew that he has to again increase that pressure on Lithuania, because if they let him comfortably play, obviously Lithuania is a great team. They are in top 4 in this championship.
Padegimas now pulls up in the mid-range, and he says, "Ačiū, mano dragas." Thank you for the 2 points. Cutting it down to a 13-point ball game now. The USA now with DJ Wagner now on the court. He has 7 points. Joint top here with David Castillo. Koa Pete now going down the middle, one of the top scorers yesterday. Goes in, gets rejected. And Lithuania just slowly, patiently staying within reach in this game. Can only trail them by 13 points.
You know, I think as well, because Lithuania hit some shots now, it kind of prevents the U.S. run the transition offense, and I think it's been working well.
Well, the three is up, and the three is good. Well, man patinka krepšinas. And all of a sudden, Lithuania, that man again, Vytautas Žygas, just finding a bit of confidence. Third three-pointer so far in the game here for Lithuania. Well, the USA now, 6 on the shot clock here. Wagner getting the ball in the corner. Castillo, he tries a three-pointer. In and out, doesn't get it. They secure the rebound. And Lithuanians now a bit more inspiration in their play. Thomas goes up off the backboard. He lays that one up. He avoids a block shot. Well, with over 3:15 to go here, all of a sudden, Lithuania now find themselves only down by 8 points. Well, you can hear the Lithuanian fans. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, Lithuania is just a beautiful basketball story. Of course, one of the greatest basketball nations in the world. And another turnover there for the United States.
This was a great play in the second quarter for Lithuania. They hit some shot, which obviously slowed down the transition of US, and they had enough comfort to go back to the zone defense. They swap in it, actually. We've seen as well man-to-man for Lithuania, so it always is challenging for the offense if you're switching the defense based on the rule or gameplay you have.
Well, we go down low here to Bieliauskas, kicks up to Kapažinskas. Good ball movement here Well, doesn't get the three-pointer now. Fears with a rebound. He can push this one for the USA. The foul has been committed. It's on Kapuscinskas.
And that was a fourth team foul as well, but you know, as a third personal for Kapuscinskas, which is a little bit now problem for Coach Bardauskas. I think he will have to take Kapuscinskas out.
Well, Kuliesha now coming back into the game. And remember, in the first quarter, he briefly took out Kapuscinskas to give Kuliesha a run. And Kuliesha, good player, but really struggled against the full court pressure from the USA. So against a silly foul.
Yeah, you're right, but he is a valuable member of the national team. And I think for his quality, obviously, he is part of the national team. So now he had a couple of briefs on the bench, realizing how tough the defense of US is. So maybe we'll see him playing a little bit more with the courage, you know, a little bit more IQ against this tough defense.
Oh, Therese, I got to say, you know, Ronald Holland's just been an impressive player for me in this tournament. He makes a turnover, but look how quickly he is just to get up in full court pressure here. The USA now. Well, the fumble there, but it falls in the hands of Castillo. Again, without Kapuscinskas, Lithuania without a backcourt player that can deal with the pressure. And again, quickly there you see Lithuania taking no chances as Kapuscinskas, with 3 fouls, is coming back into the game.
Absolutely. Coach Bardauskas tried, let's say, Kuliesha, but it doesn't play in his favor. I don't think he can deal actually with that pressure at the moment. So really, against such pressure, you don't want too many players on the half to get the ball. You just want 2 small ones in there and possibly 1 big to flash in the middle of the court for that long pass if the small struggles to get the pass.
Well, this is a real risky move here because Kapuscinskas with 3 fouls. But the only player that can really deal with the pressure here from the USA, but an 8-second violation has been called. Just when Lithuania had cut it down to 8 points, all of a sudden, again, struggling to get the ball out. I mean, great defense here from the USA. Cooper Flag and Fizz, along with Castillo.
You know, we mentioned before this game that the US is pretty much so strong defensive team, and their game is based on it because they're just playing great defense, which gives them loads of opportunities to attack either from transition or 5 against 5. But we see it, they just increase a little bit more pressure, and Lithuania's in troubles again.
Well, 24-second violations will be called in the United States. They're unable to get a shot off, and I think the Coach Shaman White there is trying to say to the officials that the ball hit the rim.
That's exactly how I said. They need to overplay that full court pressing. One of the bigs has to flash in the middle of the court for that pass.
And they just break the pressure now. And the follow there is Beliauskas follows up, and again, cutting it down to a 10-point ball game, but quickly the United States getting the ball out in transition. Just over a minute and a half to go here in the second quarter. USA lead this one here, 31-21 over Lithuania. And they get an open look, the 3 is up in the corner, and the 3 is good. Again, when you play a zone defense against a team that shoots 50% from downtown, 12-24 against Serbia, only last night, you take a bit of a gamble.
Yeah, and if you play 3-2 zone, as Lithuania just did, you don't want to get a corner shot. You know, you have enough players around that perimeter who can cover that shot. So that was a little bit bad defensive possession from Lithuania, but I think that zone defense really worked for them. That change, you know, against this US team. That's why we only have margin and scored 13 points. And what more, it's slow that such effective US offense and transition breaks. Gigas 10 points, again, another great performance. 8 rebounds for Beliauskas. You know, the Lithuania has the quality within their roster. They just obviously have to be perfect in this game against this US team to challenge them. Look at that. That's incredible pressure from US again, straight away after they score or they have the ball to bring.
Well, here are some of the key highlights. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, remember, here we'll show you. Make sure you subscribe to Courtside 1891.
Gigas, as we said, 10 points for Lithuania. Castillo 9, Knox 7, Wagner 7. And, you know, it's just, you see the points within the US roster normally are very spread because everyone is such an important person and such quality within that US team.
Well, Lithuanians again just being able to break down the full court pressure here. Again, it's a different game for Lithuania when they have Kepažinskas here in the game. Just acts as a floor general here. The United States now going into that zone. And Bielska's forcing up a tough one there.
Shame Bielska's didn't see that mismatch because Paragimas had a really small player on him.
Another kick out now as Holland goes baseline, wraps around, doesn't get it. And so rebound, tries another one. So we got to get the ball over the court. They do a good job of it. Now Lithuania has numbers here. We go for a three-pointer. The three is up, and the three's no good. That's a wasted opportunity there. They had a 3-on-1. And another foul committed. This time it's going to be called on Justas Stunkus.
It's interesting to see because you guys haven't done any personal fouls in this quarter. And Lithuania is already on a bonus, so we see every foul committed by Lithuanian players being rewarded for US team on the line. But, you know, what I like, we're talking about the individual performances within this US team, but what I like about them is that their defense is such team defense, such compact, you know, one machine working all together. So, and they know it. They know they have to win this championship if they want to win as a team, because this is a team basketball. This is a showcase of a young talent, and I think it's just incredible to see these games.
Well, at the end of the first quarter, the USA was winning 21-7. Prior to those two free throws, Lithuania was actually leading this quarter 14-13.
Yeah, I think they've really done a great job with a good shooting percentage in this quarter, which slowed down that US transition.
Well, Bielska's just throws that one away. Fizz Juniors goes in and, wow, gets rejected. I think they're going to call a foul, actually. Bielska's is like, I got the ball. Oh, Bielska's. Well, the foul's definitely there. Bielska's just said Labanakt. Good night to Fizz.
That was a good one. That was a good one. And Bielska's on 3 personal fouls right now. So Coach Bardauskas is taking him for some breather to the bench, obviously, before the end of the second. Very smart move from Coach.
Well, Danas Kasakevich is now coming back into the game as Fizz here is at the free throw line for the United States.
Kepažinskas going to be again under the pressure after this shot of fierce, because the US probably going to put out that pressure again. So before Paragimas really flashed into the open space very well and helped those small ones to bring the ball.
Well, Lithuania now may have numbers here, but again, Paragimas doesn't take the advantage. Kasakevich is now wide open. So 6 seconds difference between game clock and shot clock.
Gerard Pierce played really good
Backdoor
defense.
play by Gedibas goes in with a reverse slip. He missed that one. And now the USA here, 10 seconds left. And they go for the quick shot again. Was that the right option? Well, at the end of the first half, ladies and gentlemen, the United States lead this one 38-20 over Lithuania here in the semifinals of the FIBA U17 Men's Basketball World Cup. Well, Lithuania got off to a slow start, as we mentioned, trailing 21-7 at the end of the first quarter. Lithuania with a spirited response there in the second quarter, but still find themselves down by 17 points. Well, there are the stats to read. So what do we make of those stats in this game?
You know what, I think the US have more possessions, and obviously the percentage is higher, so that's the difference in score. But, you know, I don't think these numbers matters as much, because if you look at a game as a general, you know, you see that the US, if they put up the speed and aggressivity defensively, it brings them something. If Lithuania is able to score with some hoops and not let US run the transition offense, the game could be pretty even. So I think it just gave to Coach Bardauskas this second quarter the clue how to maybe play the rest of the game, you know. So you gotta hit some shots. That's one must, because if you miss, the US grabbing the defensive rebounds so quickly that they can really do the first quick pass into the transition. It's very hard for Lithuania to stop it. On the other hand, if they're going to make, they have enough time to come back and maybe play the zone defense or man-to-man defense, which we said before the game, US doesn't like to play 5 against 5, and I think, again, it confirmed my words this second quarter, because as you mentioned, the Lithuania actually just lost by 3 points this second quarter, so I think loads of to talk about in the changing rooms tactic-wise for both coaches.
Well, I think one of the key stats here for Lithuania, at least, is the fact there's not a heavy margin between the rebounds, of course. It's 28-25. It does show you that Lithuania are doing a decent job at least taking care of their own boards, but also going in for those second chance points. Well, here are some of the key highlights. Of course, one of the key players that's really, impressed me so far for the USA has been Pete. I mean, Pete has been very, very tough, of course, for this United States team. But again, it's a very, very interesting yet tough task for the coaching staff, because you've got a squad full of possibly the most talented players in this tournament, and you've got to find a way of what rhythm in what game works best. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will leave you with some of the highlights here for the first half, and we will be back for the second half in just under 13 minutes. This is the semifinals of the FIBA Under-17 Men's Basketball World Cup. The winner of this game will play either France or Spain. That will be the semifinals that takes place after. We'll be back very soon.
Who will you become when the moment arrives and you're carrying the expectations of an entire nation, representing your people and their dreams, the colorful faces in the streets, the screaming fans in the stands? It's time to make your move. All eyes on you, all hope, all heart. Because when you win for all.
Rejected. Wow. Goodness gracious. Jeremy Fizz. Backdoor play, and he throws it down with a bit of authority. Well, Knox is just everywhere on the basketball court right now. Every day now, hesitation goes to the basket and gets rejected. Well, goodness gracious. Savage now makes a penetration, and Rocco with the throwdown. Well, six shot clock now hit the deck. Go a little way, great blocking now. Spain having a transition. Oh my goodness gracious! Two-handed. Well, a warning has been given to this crowd. Really, I mean, look at this. There's a stop on defense. What a block there. Finding Alexandre Gassard. More of the shot block now. They got to get something going. Goes baseline. It's an easy little monster jam there. Wow. That is one way to introduce himself to the game. That is Maxime Loguet. Goes all the way, and buenas noches, Malaga, una vez más. And it's that guy, Langarita. Wow. Lack of movement here off the ball from Lithuania. 5 on the shot clock now, gotta get something going, hangs in the air off the back. The follow-up, well, Anti Brachot, and he flexes the guns. Well, Labanak, he says, good night, Poland. Well, we got a steal here. Now, what do we have in transition? Goes, oh, baby! Reverse dunk there. And that is just unbelievable. L'année, les Buell. try to go over it again. United States with numbers here. But what do we have here? There's the alley. Oh, baby! Cooper Allies one more time in transition. Well, this guy is flying on the court right now.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, now to the second half of this FIBA U17 Basketball World Cup fixture between Lithuania and the United States of America. This is the semi-finals in which the winner of this game will play either France or Spain in the next semi-final game. Now, at the moment, the United States are winning this game 38-21 now. Teresa, I got to tell you, I looked at the stats, of course. When we compare rebounds, assists, and steals, the USA really are dominating this one. You look at the scoreline, they are dominating this one. I mean, how do we make this game?
Yeah, as Coach Bardaska speaking in there. Let's just, if you can hear where he's talking, but you're right. You know, what surprises me is the really great effort of Lithuania on the glass, because I was expecting before the game that US probably going to dominate on both ends of the glass. And, you know, they are one of the, you know, they were top offensive rebounders before this game, averaging 24 per game. But what I think, you know, it was completely two different quarters. I think Lithuania stepped into the game a little bit nervous. You know, they have had quite a few turnovers in there. In total, they have 13 turnovers, and you know, US has punished it by 19 points, so that's over the half of the points of US has been basically punishment of the turnovers of Lithuania. So that's one thing Lithuania will have to improve in the second half. Also, US scored 20 points from the fast breaks out of 38, so again, it's over the half. So it tells you a lot how strong this US team is in their transition offense, you know, and they're really waiting for the mistakes of the opponents to punish them. And Lithuania, as soon as they made some shot in the second quarter, it gave them enough time to recover defensively and force the US to play 5 against 5, which they, I think, a little bit struggled to.
As you mentioned, of course, it's going to be key here in the third quarter, how well these two teams come out. Of course, Lithuania, trailing by 17 points, really need to come out here with a different game face and try and play with a very, very physical approach, while the United States, the game they're going to be hoping is to play a very up-tempo defensive game, try and force Lithuania to cause a lot of turnovers and get those steals. But, you know, if we look at some of the key performance in this game, I mean, for me, of course, Castillo's been phenomenal here for the United States. I mean, just doing what he does best, getting on the perimeter, making those open shots. Well, he is going to be starting the second half here with Wagner, Koapete, Stewart, and Holland. Ladies and gentlemen, again, there's the QR code for Courtside 1891. If you want to watch it, will be best international basketball over the world, from club tournaments to national teams. Make sure you subscribe and download Courtside 1891, offering you the very best of international basketball. Courtside 1891. Well, if you look at the key performance so far, Untitled Chapter, as he did yesterday, was the top scorer in their win against Poland. He is currently leading all scorers from Lithuania. While for the United States, well, DeJuan Wagner has 7 points. Jeremy Fears with 9, along with Carter Knox, who has 7. But David Castillo also joined top scorers. He has 9 points as well. Well, Lithuania now just coming into a very high zone defense here against the USA. And the United States with 12 of 24 from the perimeter yesterday against Serbia. Oh, turnover there. You can see just catching it out of bounds is David Castillo. Well, so far, the United States have 9 turnovers in this game, according to Lithuania, who have 13. But part of the turnovers coming from Lithuania is the inability now. Kemishitskas here with a bit of time here, but slowing this one down. Doesn't want to take advantage there, of course. Getting a handoff here with Padegimas. Getting the cross-court pass now. We're under 10 here on the shot clock. Lithuania trying to break this one down. They'll take a tough fadeaway, and again, a very tough shot, but gets it to drop there. Well, Gigas now taking his tally up to 12 points, and again, he's proven to be a very good scorer here so far in this tournament.
Yeah, another great individual performance in here, and enough time for Lithuania
to... Goodness gracious, rejection time. And there is the alley-oop, but doesn't connect with it. The USA now capitalize here in transition. They turn over one more time, and out. Lithuania here have numbers. They try another alley, but again, it's the same result. Again, the Huskers can't follow up. They go in, and Lithuania fighting for everything. 2 alley-oops later, they get 2 points.
It's a great start from Lithuania in here, because they hit a shot, they had enough time to recover defensively, they stopped the US transition. Great start to the third.
Well, there's a 3-point from downtown. The 3 is up, and the 3 is good. Well, same story now Well, Ronald Holland getting his first field goal of the game. Again, for me, he's been the best defender so far for the U.S., and he really does deserve to get some points on the board. He tries to go with a little floater, doesn't get it, and now this is what the U.S. want. They want to play this transition style. Well, Holland tries another step back and got it. Well, Ronald Holland looking like a mini Reggie Miller out there at the moment.
You know what? If you make first and you open for the second, we know U.S. has the confidence to take this shot, and Holland done great. Again, Lithuania has to step out and contest the shot.
Padegimas now here with the ball in his hands. He's going to go handoff with Kapuscinskas. 5 on the shot clock now here for Lithuania. Again, it goes out of bounds. So Lithuania have 1.8 seconds left here. So the ball is going to be inbounded here by Kapuscinskas. 1.8 seconds on the shot clock. Enough time to probably get a dribble off and get a shot off here for these players. Well, catch and shoot there from Padegimas. Doesn't get it. Kapuscinskas now comes up with a loose ball. Fresh 14 here for Lithuania. One corner, they try a three. Three is up, no good. Another offensive rebound here for the Lithuanians as Stankus comes up with a loose ball. Well, Kapuscinskas is calling for a ball screen, but Joniauskas a little bit too late there. A blocking foul has been called against the United States.
You see Bielskas now talking to his point guard, Kapuscinskas, about he was wide open under the rim, why he goes in for the screen on top. This is a foul on Padegimas. Good attack again, it comes after a ball movement, so that gave enough options and enough space for Padegimas to attack.
Well, quickly inbound, and again, he lays that one off the backboard. It's Stankus. And makes the beautiful cut to the basket. Now he takes his tally up to 7 points. He's 2 for 4 from the field this evening. Well, Holland now tries another three-point, doesn't get it. And the rebound secured here by Padegimas. Lithuania trailing by 17 points. The Lithuanian fans now still rallying behind their players, trying to give them that extra bit of motivation. Padegimas gets a handoff here with Stankus. Down low to Padegimas here in the low block. Another kick out. Well, penetrates, goes all the way to reverse. And oh my goodness gracious. Well, Gigas all of a sudden, with no fear, going straight to the basket. Well, Castillo, he tries a three-pointer. Three is up, it's no good. And the foul has been called here. Well, actually, no, it's a stop and play because I think Padegimas. Now, this is what officials must do. If they feel that the player has had contact to the head, to be cautious of any concussions, of course. I think right there it was Wagner's elbow. Now, Wagner's obviously going for the rebound, of course. But his elbow has made contact with Padegimas. Nothing in it. The officials just stop and play. That's health and safety for our players.
Yeah, it's good that Gigas is all right, because at the moment he's on 14 points and 2 rebounds for Lithuania, and he scored more than half the points.
Down the lane, tries to dunk that one, but doesn't get it. And Lithuania, as Holland goes up, and again, just look at the strength and the fearlessness of Ronald Holland there. Well, originally from Dallas, Texas, plays at Duncansville High School. Well, as a junior, averaged 15.9 points per game, just under 8 rebounds. He misses the first free throw. Well, for me, he's been one of my favorite players in this tournament so far. I mean, the defensive energy that Ronald Holland gives, he plays at the top of every press. I mean, he is relentless. He plays with so much heart for the USA. He makes the second free throw now. The United States here lead by 16 points over Lithuania. Lithuania now, shots in numbers in transition. Padegimas just trying to slow this one down. It's Kapuscinskas again calling for another ball screen here from his big man. Well, under 10 now here on the shot clock. Lithuania again. Stankus trying to cross over, but again, it's hit the foot of Koapit, and that's going to be a... I believe that was a football. It looked like it should be a fresh 14, but I think the officials... Joniauskas now, a few seconds here on the shot clock. Gets a hand on Kapuscinskas. Kapuscinskas goes all the way, and again, well, somehow, some way with the biggest heart here, Kapuscinskas gets to the basket.
He uses the fact that the US hasn't been on a split line in there. There's wide open line to the rim. Great play for Kapuscinskas.
Well, good ball movement here from the United States. Out top of the key now, finding Wagner. Wagner going in with a little floater and again making it look easy. Goes in with the teardrop. Keeping the USA up by 16 points. But again, must now here with numbers. Again, Lithuanians on their game plan. They don't want to rush anything. They know that if they play a run and gun style, it's exactly what the United States want them to play as. Cross-court pass now. They try another three. The three is up, and again, it's no good. Well, the offensive board, no good. The tip, and they still can't get it. Well, the follow-up. Well, rejection time, but goes out of bounds with 11 seconds here on the shot clock. Lithuanians not having a lot of success, of course, inside their own paint because of the intense defense here from the United States of America.
I think Gigasna has been a little bit frustrated out there. They were talking to the officials, so a great effort from his teammate to calm him down, and I think Coach Bardaska is going to take him off for that breather and calmness. You know, what I like is that Lithuania seems to be finding the way overplaying that full pressure of US. You know, just the first pass and then the long pass on any big flashing towards to the half line. Which really gave them the comfort, you know, without the turnovers. They had only one turnover, I think, in this quarter so far, which is definitely the way Lithuania wants to play because we know US teams punishing them so effectively.
Well, that was a double change there. Jukauskas coming in the game now, 11 seconds here. Also, Kazakevich is in the game. He has the ball in his hands. 7 on the shot clock now. Stunkus has got to get something going. Got it by Holland. Stunkus down the middle. There's the kick out, finds Padegimas. 3 in the corner. Well, Achu, Padegimas, Mano Drogas. Well, the big three-pointer. He only has 5 points. That's his first tray ball here of the night. Coming it down to a 13-point ball game now. Well, Koa Pete now just so aggressive, goes down the lane again. He rewards himself with 2 free throws now. Teresa, I got to tell you, Koa Pete yesterday, he was incredible against Serbia. 17 points. I mean, he is probably one of the most versatile players here in this tournament. He can play inside, play outside. We've seen at times he dribbles the ball up the court. I mean, he's got the full skill set.
Yeah, I agree with you. And, you know, he's only 15, and I think that player doesn't make any mistakes, you know, offensively and defensively. He's always on a split line. He's at the right time, at the right spot for the rebounding. You know, when the team needs him to attack, he does it. It's quite rare that you don't see really such young players playing without any mistakes, and I don't think he does many. We always say something, and obviously it happens. He just missed the free throw, but folks, like, don't get confused. Koa Pete is really, really great player for the US, and he's been proven in every game.
Well, Stuknis, of course, is also in the game here for Lithuania. As the USA now pick their second team foul up here in the third quarter. It's going to be called against Newport, Maine native Cooper Flagg. Now, for those who maybe don't know where Cooper Flagg coming from a basketball family is, his mother played at the University of Maine. Well, Stuknis, interestingly, didn't play a single second until the fourth quarter against Poland. Now, down by 14. They've got to get the ball over the court here. They avoid the 8-second violation. Padegimas now, the ball in his hands. There's the handoff now. There's a three-pointer. 3 is up. It's no good. Rebound has been secured, and now USA can push this one. There's the alley.
Oh my goodness gracious! Well, Koa Pete just went to a whole new level there with the alley-oop.
Now Lithuania.
Well, that is Koa Pete Airlines. Throw it down, Koa Pete.
Well, putting the United States now back up by 16 points. There's a penetration, the kick out there by Matulovic. A good ball movement here from the Lithuanians. The 3 is up, the 3 is no good. Stuknis with the offensive rebound. Well, we got a turnover now. Well, what do we have here in transition? We have an easy layup there from Fizz.
I think Coach Bardauskas took his key players to the breather, to the bench, and you can see straight away the game for Lithuania decreases. They do committing turnovers, missing shots, you know. I think those key players won't stay on the bench too long because Coach Bardaskas doesn't want any blowout. And, you know, Lithuania have done a great job in this third quarter. They only down by 1 point so far against the US. So here Gigas back on the court.
Well, wasted no time, of course, to get Vytautas Gigas back into the game. His top scorer has 14 points so far. Stuknys here in the backcourt. Matulovic also. Stuknys now going down the middle.
See now the zone defense from the US team as well. Try to get the Lithuanian offense off the rhythm.
Well, Matulovic for the three-pointer. Doesn't get it, but the tip-in goes in. Again, it's good play there by Danis Kasikevičius. The USA wasting no time to get the ball at the court, but Matulovic with a rebound. Now Lithuania again. Just hanging in there, of course, trailing by 16. Into the basket there. Kasikevičius goes in, gets rejected. Oh, Koa Pete said, not in my house. The foul has been committed. That's a 13th foul there for Lithuania. Only one more foul to give. We have 2:52 to go here in the third quarter. Lithuania currently trailing by 16 points.
Yeah, you can see those fresh feet of the US players again because Coach White has that rotation. And, you know, any missed shot, any mistake from Lithuania, the US team is just running that transition offense.
Well, Koa Pete now going to the bench, of course. USA. Well, Fierce has a three-pointer, takes the three in the corner. Again, he tucks that one away. Again, just showing. Again, we talk about what a great team this is defensively and how well they play in transition, but the USA, of course, probably not getting enough credit for how well they shoot the ball from the perimeter. Stuknys now just trying to get the ball over the court. Lithuania break the press now. Well, there's the mismatch, of course. Well, great defense there by Ronald Holland. Just takes the ball out of his hands. Like taking candy from a baby. There is the alley-oop time. Cooper flag. Elevation. Well, I think he might be auditioning for a potential trilogy of Space Jam. Because Cooper Flag doing what he does best. He just flies.
But also credit to Jeremy Fierce, you know, because that's his second pass for the alley-oop. You can see how much he's distributing the ball to his teammates. As his third assist, himself 13 points. I think, you know, we're speaking about the stars like Cooper Flag, you know, Koa Peak and stuff. But today, I think Jeremy Fierce is such good player for this US team, and as his game, definitely 13 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, you know, shooting 80% himself. So what a great IQ on the court for this point guard of US.
Well, one thing I love about this United States team is the fact just how unselfish they are. They move the ball, they play for each other. You know, you expect with very talented players, of course, that everybody's going to come in and try and get their own points. But this is a group of players that play for each other. They understand what their future is about. They want to become professional. As I mentioned yesterday, whether that is getting to the NBA, getting to Europe, internationally, you name it, of course. They understand the concept of playing basketball together, collectively.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see how much fun this US team has as well to play that basketball. You know, they said that they gonna win as a team, and they're just showing it every game that they have such a compact team defense. They sharing the ball. There's no one who's being a really selfish player out there. So it's just fun to watch them because they really, anyone who steps on the court is such a valuable player for this US team. And it gives so much options for Coach White to rotate his players and manage the minutes as well.
Well, 20-point deficit now. Lithuania trailing 36-56 here to the USA. And again, we have another turnover now. Cooper Flag comes up with the interception. Well, Lithuania come up with a loose ball still. Now they have an opportunity here in transition. Well, Gigas going all the way, and again, well, Cooper Flag with a rejection. Well, what do we have here in transition? And again, we have an easy little dunk there. Again, Jackson there doing a good job, of course, in transition.
I'm so sorry. I just wanted to say that I think we're going to see Kepežinskas back on the court very quickly. As soon as he steps off the court, Lithuania is a little bit struggling.
Well, again, it's amazing. Kepežinskas leaves the court, so did Beliauskas. And again, Lithuania, signs of probably getting back into this game. They are the key players for this team, along with Gigas and Padegimas. But again, the USA, a lot of depth. They can rotate. Lithuania, not so much depth in their talent that compete with the USA.
Yeah, Risa is going to be really important if the Lithuanian bench can step up in this game. And, you know, when we look at some numbers in this game, we know that the US bench has scored already 24 points, but only 2 points from the bench of the Lithuanian players.
Well, Cooper Flag there just making the last three-point shot, putting this game at wider distance, of course. Padegimas here with the ball in his hands. Still on the shot clock now. Stuknis now goes baseline. Dishes off, finds Belialskis, doesn't get it. And the rebound now secured. And this is the part of the game we've seen in so many games in the United States where teams try to hang with them. Well, Wagner tries a Hail Mary three, and he nails that one. Oh, DJ Wagner, like father, like grandfather, like son, like grandson. Well, as you look at the corner, of course, there's another three-point. Again, the Lithuanians going to their perimeter shooting now. And one thing they have to keep trying to go to, get those open looks. As Shikolkis the last 10 seconds here, the United States will try to get the last shot into the basket, and they turn it over. So now they've given Lithuania 5.5 seconds here to get one last shot in the third quarter. Well, there was the penetration by Jeremy Fearswell. Fears so far has had a very good game, as we mentioned already. 13 points, 4 for 5 from the field. Okada Knox now coming in. It's a quick substitution here. They're getting back to Kepashinskas now. Kepashinskas finding Belialskis. Belialskis end of the third quarter. Doesn't get the shot ball. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the third quarter, the United States lead this one by 23 points, 64-41 over Lithuania in the semifinals of the FIBA U17 Men's Basketball World Cup. Remember, the winner of this game will take on France or Spain. That will be the semifinals that takes place after this game. But at the moment, USA maybe 10 minutes away from the final. Well, Teresa, what do we make of these stats so far here from the game?
We see that U.S. effectiveness of the shooting is way higher than the Lithuanian, but if Lithuanians can increase that number of a percentage, I think it will give them way more options to recover defensively and stop this running U.S. team. You know, we've seen U.S. team has 16 assists so far in this game. So that tells you how unselfish offense they have. And as we already mentioned, they came here to win as a team, and they've proven it by every minute. We also, another interesting fact is that USA only committed 3 personal fouls in total, pretty much in 3 quarters of this game. It tells you just like, you know, they're focusing how to play a team defense, because they don't really need to foul. So they send Lithuanian players on their line only twice. And themselves, they've been on the line already 12 times. So, again, 3 personal fouls in a whole 3 quarters. That's just an incredible number, and such discipline defensively from this US team, you know, because it is about discipline. It is about not to drop your hand if Lithuanian players are going to bring the ball up. But you know what? You would say 3 fouls, they probably play some defense, but they don't. They play really aggressive, compact team defense. And it's actually bringing them really good results. They won this third quarter 26-20, so not bad performance from Lithuania, but it will be really important now. Lithuania, can they keep up physically in this fourth quarter as well? Can they decrease that margin in the score and play discipline without any turnovers?
Well, now we start the final quarter here. Lithuania, again, need a very spirited play here in this game. Driven by 23 points. So Kepashinskas now here on the court has done a very good job not to pick up any fouls in the third quarter. Remember, he finished the first half with 3 fouls. And they turn it over there. Costly error there. Well, Vitalta Gigas was actually wide open in the corner. I think a better pass from Padegimas could have seen a potential three-pointer, but the United States now looking to capitalize. They lead this one. Well, finding Jackson, a little dish up, an easy little play there. And that's beautiful, simple penetration on the baseline. And the man from the Bronx of New York City just repaying the favor. It's Kepashinskas now trying to break the full court press, finding Padegimas, taking the mid-range shot, doesn't get it. And the USA secure the rebound with Ronald Holland.
Here we see Lithuania in that zone defense, which causes a little bit more troubles to offensive US.
Well, Jackson now just kicking this one out to try another three-pointer. The 3 is up, and the United States, again, coming out like a house on fire. Well, they have shot the ball just excellent from the perimeter this evening. That is their 9th three-point field goal out of 17. Well, Beliauskas now trying to muscle his way up, of course. Force up a tough one. Again, if Cooper Flagg is going to play defense like that all the time, I think they'll live with that, of course, as Beliauskas fighting for every possession he has against Cooper Flagg. Well, Beliauskas securing the rebound here. And now Kepažinskas looking to push this one in tempo here for Lithuania, trailing by 26. Well, spinning around now, going down the middle. Padegimas now kicking this one out. We're under 10 on the shot clock here for Lithuania. There's the spin out, there's the ankle breaker. Off the backboard, wow! That is just a beautiful play there. Well, Mano Vardas, Justas, Stonkas. Again, we have an ankle breaker and a backboard shot. And those Lithuania fans back home, they'll love that play. Well, Cooper Flagg now, one dribble, no foul calls. 3 on the shot clock here. Has to take the mid-range shot, takes it, doesn't get it, but Ronald Holland again with an offensive rebound. Tries another three-pointer. Doesn't get it, of course, and now Lithuania will try to push this one.
Such a physical game, isn't it, for Lithuania? You could see on the faces of the players when they come into the bench now. Padegimas on the bench getting the breather are there. You see that instant pressure from this US team, just really challenging the physics of the Lithuanian.
Well, Lithuania, of course, it's about pride to them. And you talk about a country with so much pride and so much history and tradition with the game of basketball. I mean, well, Gigas tries a shot from downtown and he nails it. Oh, Malono Shushibashensi, nice to meet you. Gigas now takes his tally up. I mean, he is becoming a primetime player. A 21-point lead now. Shot is missing. Now Lithuania with another chance here. Again, the fans here want to keep seeing this team keep competing here. The USA, of course, with a big lead at the moment. Gambles there, goes in with a little mid-range, takes a floater, and again he tucks that one down. Lithuania keep on battling as now they trail by 19 points.
Again, we see you score, you go back to defense, zone defense. Nope, they just show up and now in the man-to-man defense again. So that gives credits to coach of Lithuania changing these defensive possessions.
Well, no, they're just going to work on Matulovic, just too big, just too strong, and just simply just too good. Well, Kepažinskas said, well, what do we have here? Knox is just gonna throw it down like Dr. J there in transition. Well, Knox introducing himself to the world. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Knox, no doubt we're gonna see this as a highlight on Next Generation Hoops. He is the next generation. Knox just introduced himself to the global world of basketball. Well, that reminds me, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you follow Next Generation Hoops on Twitter. It is the social media platform for the international basketball of the youth players, of course. Well, the popularity of youth international basketball from the under-17s for men and women, for the under-19s and under-20 has improved. Remember, Next Generation Hoops.
Some top scorers in here, Gigas 17, Stonkus 11. Both of them really playing great offensively. They give that stretch on the court for Lithuania and give the Kepažinskas a little bit time to breathe as well, because at the beginning of the game we've seen only Kepažinskas pretty much dealing with that pressure of US team, but it's nice to see that other players of Lithuania are now finding their rhythm. We have Stonkus 11, 5 rebounds, Gigas 17 points, 4 rebounds. But, you know, on the other hand, credit again to US team. They're just playing relentlessly. Jeremy Fears, 13 points. Carter Knox, 12 himself. DJ Wagner, 12 as well. Castillo, 9. You know, if you look at any player of this US team, and they're actually contributing.
Well, Lithuania now trailing by 23 points. It's Kapažinskas now making a penetration to kick out. Good ball movement here. Well, Vytautas Žygas with 17 points has been the top scorer so far here for Lithuania. Well, coming off one screen, looking for options. And the gamble, thought about taking a three-pointer. Puts him a little floater in a foul called there. That's much better play there from the Lithuanians, of course. A little penetration, making that contact. Again, you want to get to the free throw line because so far in this game, Lithuania has only shot 2 free throws.
Yeah, indeed. And, you know, it came out of that ball movement. There was so many, like most of the players had touches. And that's exactly what gives the problem to defense, because if you move in, you're creating more opportunities for defensive players making mistakes, and that's what Lithuania did, and that's why Stonkus had a wide open lane going and pull up their jump shot.
Well, Justas Stonkus making the free throw. He's averaged 12.4 points per game so far here in the Under-17 FIBA Basketball World Cup. He had 24 points in their opener against Spain, in which they won. Well, Lithuanians now staying in their zone defense, trying to force the United States to shoot from the perimeter. The United States, of course, with 9 3-point field goals now. Wagner with the ball in his hands. 3 seconds left. There's the penetration. Wagner. And again, they foul right at the end of the shot clock.
That is frustrating because you're playing great defensive possession as a team, and then 2 seconds to go, and you've just been tempted to put that hand down. Here it is, yeah. Very shortly, but we could see Stonkus put those hands down and committed a foul.
Well, Wagner now getting the ball in down here for the USA. Castillo with the penetration, trying to get the ball inside there to Newell. Kopit now, 5 seconds, hesitates, goes to the basket. It's Kopit now on the backboard, just making it look too easy. And again, it's amazing how easy any player can step up here for the USA. As Matulovic now doing a good job of helping his backcourt players out. Again, the pressure from the USA has caused problems for almost any team here so far in this tournament. It's Kapažinskas now here, trying to make a penetration. He turns it over. Oh, goes behind the back there. Oh, he got numbers. There's the alley. Oh, baby! Bit of USA transition. Well, Carter Knox, no doubt you're going to see that on the Next Generation Hoops Twitter page. Well, he is the next generation. I'll say it one more time. Well, that's a bit of icing on the cake there. Carter Knox.
That was a great push here from Wagner. Really quick in that transition again. An easy pass for Knox, flying in the air.
Well, Matulovic, he won't want to remember that play.
You're probably going to be part of the highlights, so you probably will, but you're absolutely right. A great dunk from Knox.
Well, Kapažinskas now looking to bring this one. You know, one thing here about the Lithuanians that we've seen so far in this game is anytime they've had an advantage in transition, they tend to bring the ball out. Of course, they know they don't want to play a run-and-gun game here against the USA. Well, Padegimas now for the 3 from downtown. Takes it, nails it. Well, cutting it back down now here to a 22-point ball game. Padegimas stepping up there for Lithuania. Just under 4.5 to go here in the 4th quarter. The United States now in control of this game, but Lithuania keep competing. Castillo, he'll take the 3, he'll nail it. Well, Castillo, of course, being one of the more dominant backcourt players, but this kid can shoot the balls now. Padegimas, well, here's the numbers in transition. Makes the pass now. On a 2-on-1 scenario like that, you want to see an alley-oop, of course, but again, you can only play with the needs of your teammates, of course. And well, Kasakiewicz is now go to the bench, take a breather. So coming into the game here for Lithuania for the first time is Mantas Kočinas.
Yeah, you would have wanted Padegimas drop that low pass to his teammate around the rim.
Well, Mantas Kočinas coming into the game, he's only averaged 3 points so far here. Only playing in 3 games against the Dominican Republic, Japan, and briefly against Poland.
Again, we've seen that great defensive possession from US. Knox try to run into that pass. Not easy moment for Lithuania in this game.
Well, Teresa, I think if you see behind the USA bench, Spanish fans are calling for Dennis Evans to get into the game.
Yeah.
He's become a cult hero here. They love him, don't they?
Yeah, they absolutely love him. He's not getting many minutes, but if he gets the minutes, I think he's getting the biggest applause so far in this championship.
Well, I tell you what, Dennis Evans has got a bright future ahead of him. You can see what a hard worker he is. You can see what a humble kid he is as well.
And, you know, we spoke about how good learning experience this is for any player pretty much stepping on the court. And, you know, Evans is gaining those minutes at the moment, being cheered up. And, you know, it's just you have to make the most out of opportunities you have.
Well, the Spanish fans chanting MVP, of course. And chanting Evans' name, of course. Well, they turn it over. We'll have the quick transition layup there. The United States do a great job there of getting out and punishing Lithuania off the turnover.
That's incredible, the speed of the transition offense of US team. It's just, I would love to measure it. It's probably like not even second, seems like.
Well, Kempiczinskas doesn't take many three-pointers. Takes this one. Well, Evans with a rebound, and now the USA can push this one more time. The foul has been committed there in transition. Well, 3:23 to go here in the fourth quarter. The United States lead this one by 27 points. Lithuanians keep battling back, of course. There's the backdoor pass, and again, he lays that one up the backboard. A beautiful little dime there. As the USA take that tally back up to 29 points now. Lithuania with 3 minutes to keep playing for pride. Look at these young players representing a nation full in rich history and tradition. Well, if you haven't seen it, make sure you watch the other Dream Team documentary that highlights some of the history of Lithuanian basketball. Well, Stukas now taking on Dennis Evans out down the middle. Stukas dishes off and great defensive work there from the United States, and it will be a baseline ball with 1.8 seconds left here on the shot clock. We get into Shikokas now. Takes a fadeaway jump shot, doesn't get it. It goes up, and Evans with a rejection. Well, Dennis Evans says, "Not in my house." Well, the home crowd, they love it.
There's not really now anyone to offer for them for the ball. Channels has been left.
Well, Mills secures the rebound. USA here with 2.5 to go. We'll keep pushing the pressure here on Lithuania. Well, the three is up off the zone. They don't get to an ball. And Lithuania now. Again, we'll just take their time to dribble the ball up over the half court. Trailing now. By 29 points. Padegimas now. He'll take the three-pointer. Three is up, and Padegimas nails it. Well, he now hits his third three-pointer night. He's now 3 for 5 from the perimeter, cutting it down to a 26-point ball game.
Yeah, and he also grabbed a 10 rebounds, so there's a personal double-double in this game, and what a great individual performance against this strong US team.
Cat Evans with no regard, rejection time, but the follow-up, just listen to this crowd. I mean, they really enjoy seeing Dennis Evans really compete there defensively.
Let me remind you, he's 2 meters, 16 centimeters, so strong presence.
So there's the ball reversal, there's a three-point. The three is tucked away. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's simply been a cookout here tonight from the perimeter. The United States have shot an impressive, again, series, I reiterate, again, 50% from downtown. Tonight, they are 11 for 22 from the perimeter.
Yeah, great shooting in here, but it comes with the confidence, you know. It's just so relaxed in this game. They're just sticking to the game plan. They're focusing on their own performance. They don't let it slip through their fingers or anything. And they know that team's gonna score. They know that team's gonna sometimes overplay them, but you know what? They are so strong in the transition offense and such compact defense that, you know, it brings the offense, and you see that every player who shoots with confidence, and that brings the percentage high.
Well, this is going to ask a big question for either France or Spain, because remember, one of those two teams is going to play the United States tomorrow. And again, we've seen Serbia do it. Now we see Lithuania do it. If you are playing against the United States, sometimes you have to go to a zone, whether that's a 3-2, a 2-3, a 1-3-1, whatever it is, because you may be in foul trouble. But again, you may want to rethink that strategy, because this team can shoot the lights out from the perimeter.
Yes, absolutely. But also, we've seen they can shoot, but you will be hoping that if you play them, they're not going to shoot well against you, because we've seen as well that the US team really slows down when they play against a set defense, right? So as a team who's going to play the US, you want to play without any turnovers and make as many shots as possible, because then you have enough time to recover defensively and set that defense against them.
Well, just over a minute to go here. Stukas goes in. The follow-up is tucked away there by Kasikevičius. And Lithuania, again, you got to give it to these Lithuanian players. I mean, they did very well at the beginning of the tournament to defeat Spain, of course, who are going to be playing in the semifinals against France. And there's the alley-oop.
Oh, baby! Dennis Evans, this is your moment. And just listen to the reaction from this crowd.
Well, what a moment for this young man.
Well, Fizz goes down the middle, throws up the dime, and Dennis the Menace just says, good night, Lithuania.
And again, this home crowd of Spanish fans, they are showing their admiration for Dennis Evans. Oh, here we go again in transition. Jackson goes in, tries a windmill. Doesn't connect with it, of course. Well, again, one more time, but well, just over 20 seconds to go here. Well, again, I got to tell you again, Teresa, these two teams have been fantastic so far in this tournament. As it stands, the United States, they'll be going to the final. They'll be playing either France or Spain. But credit to Lithuania. No doubt we're going to see these players in the future. But ladies and gentlemen, at the end of this one, the United States win 89-62 here in Lithuania. The USA, they're on their way to the final. Lithuania will have another chance here to win a potential second bronze medal here in the FIBA U17 Men's Basketball World Cup.
Shortly, we're going to see the confirmation of some numbers. You know, one thing what Coach White might want to talk about is allowing the opponents to grab 24 offensive rebounds. And it just tells you about the character of the Lithuanian basketball. There is a heart, and I think for the 3 quarters of this game, Lithuania have really displayed really great team basketball. They were hitting shots, they were playing tough defense, they were slowing down this machine of US who is running the floor. And, you know, shame of that first quarter that Lithuania took time to adjust against that aggressive defense of US. But congratulations to this United States of America's team and Coach White to bringing this team to the finals.
Of course, credit then the stats, of course. I mean, Teresa, what do we make of these stats from this game?
You know what, I think Lithuania out-rebounded this US team, which they could bring this great performance on the glass into that bronze game. You know, there's been a great effort. On the other hand, USA have had 24 assists. That tells you how unselfish this US team is. And they send a message for either France or Spain, depending who's going to play them in that final, that, you know, you can't just focus on one player. Anyone can play from this US team, and it will be such a hard task for their opponent to come with some game plan. But I think Lithuania has shown what could work possibly in that final game against this strong US team.
Well, here are some of the key highlights now for the second half. That was the block shot by Cooper Flanagan. Yeah, Teresa, again, I reiterate the fact that this USA team is not built about one superstar. I mean, this is a group of superstars that right now just play very unselfish basketball. And again, they have yet to be tested here. They had a little bit of a test from Serbia. Lithuania tried to hang with them, but it'll be a question of tomorrow, will they be tested by either France or Spain in the final? And will they win their 6th? I reiterate, this team has not lost in the FIBA U17 Men's Basketball World Cup. It's 5 tournaments, this being the 6th one.
I think no matter what, I think it's going to be such exciting finals to watch, because we again going to see the European basketball against the American basketball, and there's loads of pros and cons, and it will be nice to see these matchups, you know, depending who's going to grab the win in the next semi-final. But as you said, such an unselfish team. You know, USA beat yesterday in Serbia in the quarterfinals. We had Koa Pete 17 points, Knox 9 points, Cooper Flex 18. But today, another game, another semi-final, you know, and another player step up. Jeremy Fears, I found him really playing great game today. 18 points himself, 5 assists. He shot 60%, you know. We had as well Knox 14 points, Castillo 12 as well. And they didn't really play more than 20 minutes in this game, and the points are spread all across the roster, you know. And that gives a lot of advantage, I think, for Coach White, because you know, the next semi-final, France and Spain, is going to have to, those players are going to have to play minutes, you know, because I think this is one of the most exciting games we have at this championship now coming up. And I think the fact that Coach White could save, again, some energy for their players, for his players, for the next day is a big advantage. So we will see, because obviously the championship is not super long. It only is taking a week, and these players are young. They should be in the highest physical condition as they can. So it depends, but I think we will see another exciting games even tomorrow, whoever's going to play that US team.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll leave you with the highlights from the rest of the game, of course, in just over 50 minutes. The second semi-final, that will be streamed live here on the FIBA YouTube channel. Remember, also subscribe to Next Generation Hoops, of course, a Twitter page that will give you all the best highlights from young international basketball stars all over the world. Remember, that is Next Gen Hoops. Make sure you follow it on Twitter. But for now, we'll see you in over 50 minutes for the semi-final between France and Spain here for the 2022 FIBA U17 Basketball World Cup. We're live here in Malaga.